Hello, hello. Bullhorn Betty coming from office 2. I hope everybody is doing well. We just had some new updates in the case of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old grandmother, disappeared from her home. Come on in. We've got some breaking news information that has been breaking today. Nothing major, actually. In all fairness, it puts this case more at a disadvantage than anything else. So, as many of you know, we heard, hello guys, Eeyore, the real me too, Melanie, it's nice to see you. As you guys are swiping up, come on in. We got some probative stuff to discuss tonight. Good evening, that's Southern Mimi. Lisa, it's nice to see you. Karen, good morning, or good evening. The real me too, good evening. Vicky, it's nice to see you. Can you please sit down, honey? Sit situated. Come on, get down, sit down. So we've got a lot of stuff going on right now, but I think the most detrimental to this case is the glove and the DNA. The DNA does not, remember I told you, everybody seems really excited. 16 gloves, but everybody's excited about this one glove. This one glove has a DNA profile, and I'm like, out of 16 gloves, and I even cautioned you. I said it's hard because we can't assume anything, but it almost feels as if the glove must match something to the house since there were 16 gloves and they're only focusing on this one glove. Well, come to find out, I'm glad I put these caveats and these disclaimers on, and I do that for a purpose because we're finding out today that no, the glove does not match what they found at the property. So 2 different DNAs now. I'm going to venture to say I would think that the DNA at the property would be more beneficial than on a glove 2 miles away, okay? Just a little food for thought. Football mom, it's nice to see you. Eeyore, I think I said hi to you. Baby love, it's nice to see you. Aletha, brown chicken, hello my love. Downey, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have? YouTuber, I see you. Cynthia, thank you for the flower. Linda, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Handsome man coming by to say hey to all the lovely ladies in here. Joe, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. So today we were talking about the DNA testing. We were talking about several things that we had learned today, and it seems like everything from mainstream media is behind, it seems to me like behind 24 hours. It seems like we move so much faster than mainstream media. And so the stuff that they're talking about now is stuff that's already stale. So, for example, after we shut down our live earlier today, shortly after that, some information came out that the sheriff was just entering the profile into CODIS. Now, CODIS, it takes 24 hours to run through CODIS. And then he had an interview with Fox News. And in that interview today with Fox News, he said the hits have already came back from CODIS, and there was no hit on either sample, the one from the property or the one from the property or the one from the glove. Hey, nice to see you. Who else? Tammy, it's nice to see you. Freeside, howdy. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. So we've got those things coming back as not, which again, 16 gloves. Why were they honing in on this one glove? It sounded like they had multiple black gloves. Delilah, stop it. It sounded like they had multiple black gloves, and the multiple black gloves, they focused on this one particular black glove that was 2 miles away. All the gloves went and got tested, but it was just this one. And so it had the appearance as if they had already checked it against the property. Again, coming back, if you guys are just coming in, we're finding out today no CODIS hit for the glove or they keep saying inside the home, but I heard it wasn't inside the home. I heard it was on the property. So I'm so confused about that. But here's going to be the cool thing. Hey, I Spy. Tomorrow, we're not going over tonight because I'm, in office too. But tomorrow, we're going to go over an interesting topic of conversation in the morning. And so if you guys want to be here, I was going to push it up to 6 a.m. that we were going to go live, but I'm not going to my meeting. I missed my meeting today. I had a meeting today and I forgot all about it. So I missed a county meeting today. I missed it last week, which we knew I was going to miss it because I was supposed to be in South Carolina. Long story short, I missed my meeting today. And tomorrow we have another meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and miss that meeting tomorrow as well. I'm just not going to have any meetings for February, apparently. But tomorrow we're going to be going over transfer of touch DNA. It's going to be pretty interesting because there's a lot that this assailant did. There's a lot that this assailant did, and this is going to be good. This is good for us, okay? Now, I believe they do have a good profile for him from the house, and there's a reason why, because of this transfer of touch DNA. So we're going to end up going over all of that in the morning. No DNA for the home or the glove. But getting a little more into or expanding our live from this morning, we were reporting on Brian Enton, this DNA, this signal sniffer. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't for the life of me think of that. Signal sniffer. That has produced no results from my understanding. 0. I don't know why they aren't attempting to do it on a drone. Maybe they don't have a lot of faith in the signal sniffer. Scent sniffer. I'm telling you, this is gonna crack me up, and it's such a serious topic. I shouldn't be laughing or smiling. But the scent sniffer is to find the pacemaker. But this sounds like this was a kidnapping, and we have to look at this, it sounds like maybe the purpose was the kidnapping. And this is probably what's fueling a lot of that stuff that we're hearing about in the paper about how her mom was targeted, because they had just released a video of her hometown, all this like a month or two, 60, 90 days before this happened to her mom. And I think that her notoriety, she's starting to feel like it is. And I just, there's a piece of me that just feels like this is just a random act of violence that just happened to knock on these people's front door. But there's also a piece of me saying, when have we seen something like this happen before? And I can't recall in even the distant history of when I heard of a grandmother being plucked out of her bed. There is one, because I saw a lady on TikTok that basically had the same kind of story as Miss Nancy Guthrie. And I saw her story, I can't remember the name, where her grandmother disappeared in the middle of the night too. But, they didn't have a masked intruder. I don't know much about that case. Not that any case is better than the other. It's still very, very sad. And, the grandmother has been missing all of this time and is, gone, is deceased. So where did she go? You never know. But there was no ransom for the grandmother in that case either. And it didn't seem like they came from an upper crust family. So it made you wonder what truly happened to her grandmother. But this is so much different, because you see these creeps. This creep. You don't see creeps, you see a creep. And that creep is pretty stinking scary. So who could this be? And it's hard to try to figure this. And who would want this 84-year-old grandma? Who would target, who would say, oh, I think it's a great idea that we go and target this 84-year-old grandmother that's frail. Like, who comes up with these thoughts? Like, I'm just dumbfounded with it. Absolutely dumbfounded. I don't remember keeping up mom all night. I'm wondering about the Luke's girlfriend. Well, here's the issue. Like, we're hearing that his girlfriend Kayla is affiliated with the Guthrie family. I'm not sure I agree with that 100%. I really don't. And somebody's like, oh, well, she's definitely related to Annie. And I'm like, I was thinking to myself, well, why would she be related to Annie and not the rest of them, you know? But it was just funny how it was presented like that. But when I did look at her, I could kind of see some features of Savannah in her with all those tattoos and everything. She had a beautiful face. I'm so saddened that she's on all the stuff she's on. You know, I hope she finds a path forward for herself. You know, addiction's never. It's a prison. You know, it's a different type of prison. But it's just sad. So I don't know about her. I'm not sure. I haven't connected the dots personally where I can say, yeah, this is a distant family member. But if this is the case, this would be more in line with what we're looking for, because she's in drugs and substances and stuff like that. If that is accurate, which again, I'm not standing on it at all. We hear that it's a possibility. That's all I'm presenting here, is that there could be a possibility that this lady is related. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. From everywhere I sit, because I went through all of this and I don't remember seeing. That's why whenever they were saying something about Day, I'm like, because you got to remember, I pulled all these background checks when we started these cases. And something like Day would have resonated with me. And I can tell you exactly why the last name Day would have resonated with me. Because I went to school with a Danny. And Danny Day is the person I remember. But he had a sister. And if I can't remember his sister's name. Good gracious, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, I'll think of it. Anyways, his sister died. So if I saw a Day in their history, I know for a fact I would think of Danny. I would think of his sister, because his sister lost her life to substances. So I know for a fact that I would remember the name Day. And it's just, whenever I heard it, it's just not resonating with me. Isn't it strange also that everyone leaves when the sun goes down, like if nothing could happen because it's nighttime? Anything that's going to happen, it's during the day. Weird. Yeah, are you talking about like the media and stuff out there now? Well, from what I hear, they can't really have the lights on because of the ordinance. And so it gets pitch black out there at night. I don't know what kind of agreement they have with the University of Arizona, but it needs to come to an end. I'm sorry. I'm going to stand behind that, because safety of human beings are so much higher than that of nature. I'm sorry. I want to be kind to nature. I want to be good to nature. I'm not an environmentalist by any stretch of the imagination, but I would love to do my part to make sure we leave this place, better than when we got here. And that's hard to do, because we do building, we have, automobiles, boats, planes, no matter what, there's not one spot on this world that human hasn't touched, really. I mean, there are some enclaves of land and like the Amazon forest and stuff like that are just untouched, and I get that, and they are beautiful and are magnificent. But at the end of the day, I think that when people are living in an area, when people build homes and roads and sewers and stuff like that, then there has to be another element there. Like, you have to make sure those people are safe. And the government's sole responsibility, in all fairness, is public safety. And part of public safety is proper lighting, okay? Think about it. How many businesses put lighting in their parking lot because women have been SA'd or ARD out there, and they sued for millions of dollars because they didn't have proper adequate lighting and they left them unsafe. Now, this is the same type of scenario that they're doing to the public, and the public is paying taxes for their government to make sure that they are safe. And so they're failing at their core objective in that community, in my opinion, is that core objective of keeping the public safe. And that is denoted by, Miss Guthrie. Okay, because at the end of the day, if we had proper and adequate lighting, we would see cars moving around. We would be able to figure out what make and model or even the color is if they had proper lighting. If there was proper lighting and proper infrastructure in that very highly desirable upper crust community, maybe, just maybe, it may not have prevented this from happening, but it could have solved this issue maybe a little bit quicker than what we're watching it being solved at. Okay, something happened to this poor lady, and I'm so thankful that her immediate family, her children and their in-laws and her in-laws are not responsible. That right there, because in so many cases, it's always the person right there that's always responsible. So hearing this and knowing that they're cleared makes my heart a little happy, because the thought of thinking Annie or her husband hurt this frail mom broke my heart. I will not lie to you. It broke my heart. It was hard for me to even contemplate it, because everything I was seeing, all these people, I mean, like even Annie, like her and her husband, the worst thing that they've done so far is speed and be on phones when they're not behind the wheel of a car, when it's against the rules, those type of things. Just stupid stuff, right? Nothing major, nothing of violence, no substance abuse in their background. I mean, these are the telltale signs that we all look for when we're looking. We're not just looking for the last person that's seen them. Most of the time, the last person that's seen them has a violent tendency, substance abuse, alcohol abuse. Those are usually one of those ingredients are always involved in the story somewhere. And you're going to find out when the truth comes out in this story, one of those elements are involved as well, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or violence in the family. The person is a very violent criminal or something to that effect. You're going to find that as being an underlying, one of those three things will rear its ugly head in this story as well. Because no matter what story I have covered, one of those three things are involved in every single one of these stories. Every single one of these stories, one of those three. So violence, either domestic violence or just a violent individual, alcohol, or substances. It can be one of those things, it can be two of those things, or it can be all three of those things. But in every story I've covered so far, it took me a little while, but because we study one case, but we studied a lot of cases to understand that one case to explain to our audience. So when I'm studying these cases, and I have to study the cases in order to understand what I'm explaining to all of you guys, the one thing that started rising to the top of all my research were these items. The fact that we either have a substance abuse issue, an alcohol abuse issue, or a violence issue. And in every single case that I covered, every single case that I read about, every single case had one of those three elements in it as the underlying cause. So I started developing a theory, and so far my theory has panned out that in these cases, one of those three things are always relevant and prevalent in the case at the time. So as you guys know, I'm just wanting to come in here and say hi to you guys very shortly in the evening. We don't have a lot to go over. I keep this area open and still keep content filling this time slot. And I do that for a purpose. I do that because we are going to have breaking news, and I need to make sure that I am in this time slot. So although I'm not going to stay on here long, I don't have a whole lot to talk to you guys about. The breaking news for tonight is the fact that we do have which I broke yesterday. We do have DNA on the glove as well as on the property. I thought that the glove and the property DNA were one in this, that those were already compared to one another, and because everybody was so excited about that glove. Well, come to find out, no, they do not match. The glove does not match inside the home, okay? So we have two separate DNA profiles, one for the glove, one for the home, okay? Neither one of those profiles, neither one, came back with a CODIS hit. Now, it's my understanding CODIS has over 17 million profiles. It might, or maybe 37 million profiles. I think it might be 37 million profiles in total. So it is a very extensive database, and we'll go over those. But be here tomorrow because it's going to be very interesting. We're going to be touching with Nancy Grace, and it's going to be all of this interesting stuff on this touch DNA, but not just touch DNA. The transfer of touch DNA, the things that we as the public don't pay attention to. That's going to be happening tomorrow morning, 8:30 sharp. We are going to be rolling with our show. Our show is going to be any breaking news updates plus this touch DNA. And then tomorrow at noon, we are going to be, oh, thank you, Vicki. Bless you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow at noon, we're going to take some time. We're getting very close. I just realized that I only have a few days. I'm not packed. I'm not charged up yet. But we are going to be going to the Sebastian Army event in Sumner County. That's in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Rain or shine, we'll be out there from the 24th to the 27th. Rain or shine. The 26th is the only day we are providing cake. We're providing cake for everyone that shows up. We will be having cake around noon. We're going to have fellowship around noon. If you guys are there, when we start out in the morning, we do say a prayer first thing in the morning before we kick off. I'm a one-man show, so I don't expect people to be showing up throughout the week. If you guys would like to come out and hang out, come on out. Bring yourself a chair, bring yourself a sign, bring yourself an umbrella, get yourself comfortable. Whatever you need to be comfortable out there. If you like a blanket, if you want, the favorite slippers, bring it on, right? I'm not picky. I'm not picky. You want to come out and show support all week? By God, I love a crew. I love a crew. So we're going to be out there on Tuesday, and it's coming. It's right around the corner. Literally 1 week away. We're going to be in Tennessee, and it's coming quicker than I know what to do. My head's already spinning. My head is already spinning. So, again, DNA is the hot topic of conversation. We are getting closer to this. The sheriff, I can tell you, he seems like he likes Fox News for some reason. He's not giving any press conferences. He's only giving interviews to Fox News, which I feel is not fair or right. But what do you do? What do you do? Local media out there, of course, is butthurt. I can tell. I've been listening to them. They've been dogging social media quite a bit. They did AZ family did something on the podcasters out there that was very, very nasty because, as you know, Jonathan's probably raking in about 1 million views a day, which I don't even believe the local news are doing the same thing. So now they're starting to beat up on Jonathan, which this happens every place we go. Every time we start dominating on, and I'm talking about the true crime community, not anything else, just we as general, like even Justin For All, Dolly Vision, whenever we go out to the scene of a crime or we start dominating views over the local media, we have this back and forth and this pissing contest. I'm going to tell you, I'm most likely going to be going out there because it looks like this is going to be dragging on. So when we get back from Sebastian Rogers' case, I'm going to be making some efforts to go out there to Phoenix. I think I'll fly into Phoenix, not Tucson, and go out there for about a week. And I'm probably going to bring, my equipment as well. It's going to be a little more expensive, but I'm going to bring my equipment as well as my snake boots so we can get out there and see if there's any way we can search for her. You know, I have a belief, and I'm going to follow my belief of these cases, and hopefully maybe we can help somehow. If not, we'll definitely get a good lay of the land while we're out there. But I truly hope that mainstream media tones it down, because I tell you, Jonathan's a very nice individual. I'm not very much. If you say something in my earshot, I'm liable to light your ass up. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you should be thankful for what you got out there, because you really don't want likes of me out there, because when push comes to shove, I mean, I'm a very, very nice person. I'm a very sweet person. I really am. Until you piss me off. Then you got some problems. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But as long as everybody plays nice out there, I play nice as well. But this case doesn't need to turn into a shit show. But I understand, at the end of the day, nobody likes mainstream media anymore, right? They've lied to us so many times over the years. It's not that they're lying to us about the case here. It's just that if law enforcement told them not to say something, they wouldn't say it, right? And I believe in the freedom of press. And if I mean, within reason, like, I would never want to tank a case, right? You have to be, even for content creators, we've got to be reasonable. I don't want to hurt a case, but it seems like all too often they don't want us to disclose our shoe leather work, and that's not fair. That does not bode with the freedom of press. Now, if it went to the integrity of the investigation, or would tank the investigation, or cause detrimental harm, I think anybody that's in true crime would step away for a little bit until that's resolved before releasing whatever it is. At least I would hope that would be the case. But so far, I haven't seen anything that's been so detrimental to the case that somebody, you know, letting or informing their audience of something, even names. I don't see how that, at the end of the day, these people must not be, you know, choir children, right? I mean, they just got their house raided. It sounds like they have a history. It sounds like they have a past. It's not like these are, you know, innocent kids that are sweet angels. I mean, obviously, they got on law enforcement's radar, period. You know? At the end of the day, they're on law enforcement's radar. What does it matter if their name comes out? They've got a freaking federal warrant with their name on it, and it was a very public search of that home. Yet everybody wants to keep it quiet, and then they want to say, oh, well, you could ruin somebody's reputation. Well, maybe you should think about that before you make it so damn public when you go and raid somebody's house. But at the end of the day, when you raid somebody's house, that's public information. So, I mean, I'm not sticking up for Jonathan or anything. I am kind of sticking up for the profession, the independent journalism profession. And I think it's wrong for journalists to do that. And I can tell you that I'm very good about running a freaking bus over somebody. So I'm just saying, I don't think it's necessary. And what that whole article, and we'll watch it tomorrow. I think I saved it. They search for the pacemaker with a helicopter. What's your take on that? A drone? A drone would have been more appropriate. The box is 10 by 6. Certainly it would have been more appropriate on a drone where they can get lower to the ground. Period. You know? Period. So, I don't know. I just think that they're like, I don't know who thought that putting it to a skid of a helicopter was going to get low enough to the ground. I just don't understand that. And yeah, they may be picking up other Bluetooth or other signals like that, but that doesn't mean that they're picking up the pacemakers, you know? And I just think I just know Bluetooth devices, and I know that from here to my office, I can't Bluetooth something from my cell phone to my computer. I have to be a lot closer, and I have to think that that's the same way for the pacemaker. So if I've got to be from the door to the computer instead of from the bed through the door, through the other door, to the computer, and it won't go this way until I'm in that hallway, well, I have to think that the Bluetooth signal is similar to that. And if I think that it has to be similar to that, there is no way a helicopter could ever get low enough to the ground for it to be effective, in my opinion. Unless the signal is supercharged, then maybe, but I still wouldn't trust it. I mean, if the objective is to find the Bluetooth signal, the closer to the ground you are, in my opinion, is going to be the best. And if they need something like a helicopter that can move, then the next best thing is a drone. I think they need to strap it on the drone, not the skid of the chopper. That's what I think. But I just don't like I don't like this stuff going on out there. But at the end of the day, we should hopefully find where Nancy is. They still keep saying that she has been kidnapped. It sounds like that was the sole purpose of the people going into the house, or the person going into the house, was to kidnap her. But I still can't figure out why. And people keep saying for money or this, that, and the other. It doesn't sound like she had a whole lot of money. I mean, she might have some retirement or annuity somewhere, but that doesn't mean that that's liquid cash. You know, most of these things, especially when you're 84 years old, are in trusts and other things. They're not liquid. You just can't go and withdraw them from a bank account. Like, you know, that might have been another thing. Everybody keeps saying that now because her bank card or car keys and everything else were there. If her bank card was gone, I was going to say maybe he took her out of the house to go to the bank to wipe her checking account out. But I don't think that, it just doesn't make sense. He would have done that during the day, not at night. During the day, residential houses, night, commercial properties. That's typically the MO. She knew something. Ooh, maybe that's, what did she know? What would she know? Maybe she saw something that she shouldn't have seen. Was she a witness of a crime of any sort? Maybe we should ask some standard questions. If she's seen a crime, if she was a witness to a crime, if she was coming up to testify on behalf of somebody for something, you know. I don't know. I can tell you, it looks like everybody out there in the field looks absolutely exhausted. I can tell you, we're all exhausted. If you're like me, you're waking up in the middle of the night, checking your phone just to make sure you haven't missed anything. It's just an exhausting twist and turn. Like, we want so bad for this to be over so we know what happened. I don't know. It's certainly a sad case because I feel like we all know Savannah and her mom, you know, for years. We've known them. And it just thinking of what that 84-year-old little lady went through, how scared she must have been. It sucks. All right, guys. Well, anyways, you guys, we'll be back in about 12 hours right here on this show, the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to be going over any breaking news updates that happened throughout the night. Plus, the topic of conversation is going to be this transfer. It is so interesting to me. It's stuff that we don't even think about, folks. It is interesting. And I'm telling you, it's not the boring kind of DNA either. This stuff is going to make you go, So set your clocks, because it's not set up yet. And you guys know I am not setting it up tonight because I'm not getting my lazy ass up out of this bed and walking in there to set it up, because I have been researching, I have been taking notes, and I ain't stopping. Okay? I ain't stopping. We got a lot to get ready before tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so we want to make sure we're prepared. So I will pop it up in the morning. But we're going to roll out of here around 8:30 in the morning. So set your alarm clock. Set your alarm clock for 8. It should be up by 8. It should be up by 8, because I usually try to make sure it's up at least a half an hour before we go live. So make sure you guys are up at 8. I'll see you in the morning. We got a lot to go over, but I think this is going to be interesting. And I think this will be beneficial for other cases too. The topic of conversation we're going to be going over tomorrow morning is going to definitely be beneficial for not just this case, but other cases in the future. All right, guys, we'll see you in the morning. Talk to you soon.